Okay, what's up, guys? So, I heard about this video. I haven't watched it, but I guess my mom, she watched it and she didn't like it, and it's yeah, pretty much. I guess it's pretty much saying that Black Panther is a witchcraft movie. Now, I seen the movie. I gave my review on it, and I don't even think witchcraft had happened at any given point in that movie. Like, it's a fantasy hero movie. That's the only thing that I've caught by it. But witchcraft, I don't know. Maybe if I learned about some witchcraft, then okay. But yeah, I don't see how that movie could have anything that has to do with witchcraft. But anyways, let's go ahead, get into this video. Yeah, Black Panther Exposed, witchcraft served to the black community. I don't know, it didn't serve me no witchcraft. It actually served me a good movie and a drink. I didn't have nothing to eat when I went to go see it. I was just so excited to see this movie, but let's see how exposed this movie can get.
Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. Like I tried to allude in most of my other videos, we live in a world of mass deception. In order for a new world order to be implemented, amongst many other factors, evil must be seen as good.
Remember, wicked is good.
Darkness must be seen as light, just like Rihanna sang in her song Disturbia. The best way of promoting this seems to be through film. From The Sopranos creating empathy for a psychopathic mass murderer, Breaking Bad making us root for a mass creator of meth who was willing to kill anybody who got in his way.
See, I listen, I watched that show. It wasn't so much like the whole idea of making meth, yeah, that's bad, but it's a TV show. So I mean, it ain't real. It ain't like these guys are actually making meth. That's how I seen it. So if as long as it's not real, then okay. But let's say if this was like a based on a true story thing, then I'd be like, yeah, you have to take another way out than than to do what he did. But yeah, it's I don't know. But
even today, we have a television show about Lucifer, which actually makes him into a cop trying to be good and fight crime.
Oh yeah. I heard about
film
that.
Seems to be a great,
but it's like it's a fantasy thing. Once again, it's not real. So
tool of the enemy to bring about change in the hearts and minds of men and women around the world. Some of it is very easy to see, and others not so much. Particularly if when you are watching, you're used to just turning off your brain and not analyzing what you're seeing and what the creators are trying to convey. Just putting it off as, entertainment. The movie Black Panther is not of exception and is a massive tool against the black community. The black community feels it's finally being represented in Hollywood. Hollywood being a group in this country that has historically underrepresented our culture or only emphasized the negative. With the cast being predominantly black, Hollywood has never made a major film for the masses in this way before. Most would like to see it as progress, and because of this desire, our brains are turned off to what is being promoted. The black community has gone in great numbers to view this film wearing African garments. Referring to
I have to agree with him on that. It's just where I felt like that was just a little bit too much. It's just if you wasn't wearing this before, then why wear it now? But it's on the other hand, it's just that's just how people are. They get caught up in the moment of that movie, and they feel like they just have to represent and show. But to me, the thing is, it's a phase. It's not like they're gonna be doing this forever. If they are, then they just changed as a person. But
Honda, as if it is an actual representation of us. It first needs to be understood that Black Panther is not a black movie. It was not funded nor produced by the black community, though it was written and directed by Ryan Coogler, a black man, and the cast was majority black. It was funded and produced by the Marvel Corporation, which is owned and run by Walt Disney Corporation. This is a Disney film, and the board members and executive level management of Disney are not black. This is a company that has funded a massive amount of witchcraft and deception throughout the world for decades. They have always had other motives that are more of a priority than promoting the black community with strength.
I feel like this is just when you get way too deep into whatever you believe in and stuff. I don't know what he believes in, but it's just I just feel like that nobody's not thinking this far out when they hear of this movie. Like me, I was just thinking of a superhero, you know, just being a superhero. I wasn't thinking of, oh, okay, well, it's just like when they announced like all of that stuff, like how the writer and director, he was like pretty much like behind this movie and things. I felt like that if it wasn't for him, then I mean, would this movie have been created? Like this, I'm just saying, like, you know, like not trying to forget that Black Panther has been out for the longest. It wasn't like they never talked about making a movie about this Black Panther before. Like this was an idea brought up, I would say, by a black person. If it was funded by Walt Disney and Marvel and all that stuff, that's on them. But I mean, hey, it's just, I feel like if anything, that's like their way of, I guess, just supporting black people. I don't know, like I'm not trying to just, you know, like turn this into a race war thing, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to get deep and dark into this, then I guess, like, yeah, Walt Disney and Marvel, they don't have problems with black people. They just made a movie about black people, so.
Dignity and unity. So everyone that believes that Black Panther is something done to bring unity and strength in the black community are deceived. It's the same deception that allowed us to think that this nation would allow there to be a black president that was not controlled by the same elite that built and to this day controls this country. Most believe these lies because they do not either know about the inner workings of most things, or they just choose to be ignorant and take things at just face value. Black Panther is not a black movie. It is a movie created by an elite corporation, mostly run by white people, who have casted black people to represent what they want us to see. They have never just funded movies that do not promote their agenda, and Black Panther is not the exception. So if you understand this, you should then try to examine, what are they trying to tell us? Now, a problem with entertainment, particularly when it's good and well-funded, is that they can trap you in with tons of graphics and special effects, a lot of good action scenes, a good storyline, and very good actors and actresses that keep you mesmerized, not allowing you to properly dissect what you're watching. If you do not train yourself to watch things, to not be just entertained, but to see what the director is trying to convey, you will always be deceived, and you will always be just a pawn in their grand scheme. The first part is simple. The African culture, Black Americans. If you pay close attention to what I say, please note I have never said African American. Black Americans do not share the culture that is promoted in this film. Africa is a continent, not a nation. Not all culture in Africa is the same. It's like saying Mexicans have the same culture as Canadians because they're from the same continent. Ryan Coogler, writer and director of the movie, said, and I quote, "We were making a film about what it means to be African." When Ryan Coogler looked for inspiration for this film, he went to South Africa. The descendants of Black America are not said to be descendants of South Africa. So why are we trying so hard to identify with their culture? Because most of the black community has not been to Africa, it's very easy for Hollywood and the elites to create the depiction of the African culture that we're supposed to get accustomed to. So for the majority, it's either the culture of South Africa, Ghana.
It's not like they can't, you know, black people can't just go online and just look up stuff about African cultures. I mean, we do have that one thing where we can, like, you know, read books, go online, read just stuff, or watch videos just about the African culture. So, I mean, in a way, technically, that, I guess that's their way of going to Africa, is just reading and learning about the African culture. And it's just something that they decide to learn about, that they want to learn about and stuff. So it's just, I guess, if they consider themselves African, then they consider themselves African. It's just like white people considering themselves all of them nationalities that they be saying, like, oh, I'm have 10% of this and 5% of this. It's just like, okay, we're not primarily looking at that, you know. So I don't know, like, maybe we're just seeing this. I'm trying to understand what he's saying, but at the same time, it's just I don't know what he's trying to. I know he's just like saying that it's a, like, you know, a movie not for black people. So is it a movie for African people? Like, I mean, African people already, you know who they are and stuff. So, and it's like and the funny thing is that there's like white people that's going out and seeing this movie too. So I don't know. It's just like I feel like that if it's this movie didn't serve nothing to a black community when there's multiple races going out and seeing this movie and stuff. So
Nigeria or it's Egypt. Mind you, that none of those countries claim us as their kin, nor do their people tell stories about how a majority of their people were stolen from their land over 500 years ago. This is just a promotion of false culture that deceives us and keeps us from understanding our true heritage. The only fact that the black community knows for sure,
yeah, that looked like Michael B. Jordan for a moment.
Of where we come from was taken from us. When we blindly grab at the culture that we do not know if we're actually descendants of, we can become dangerously deceived and practice rituals and customs that are to our detriment. What if none of the culture that we are claiming to be a part of has anything to do with our true culture? Now, I know that Black Panther is nowhere close to the first perpetrators of this lie, but based on how the black community is acting, literally wearing dashikis to a movie premiere because it's about a black nation in Africa, just highlights just how mind-controlled we are and desperate for an identity, that we follow anyone or anything that seems to give us power and identity. Now, that's
you know what? That's just some black people. That's not all black people, okay? Now, I would consider myself a part of the black community, but I didn't go to this, like, African store and stuff and buy some shirts and pants and stuff that was, like, you know, to just go out and see a movie. No, what I wore was, I think I wore one of my hoodies that I had created and stuff. And then, yeah, that was about the only thing I was wearing was some black pants. And I wasn't really, like, thinking, like, along the lines, like, Black Panther. No, I was just wearing some, like, black pants and so, or some black clothing, whatever. But anyways, yeah, I don't think that a movie can control a whole culture. I think that's just people, yeah, in a way, it's just, like, that's just people wanting to, you know, be a part of the movie. It's just, like, I see it as, like, a Halloween thing. You know, it's just like kids, when they see Spider-Man or if they see the Hulk or if they see Black Panther, they're going to want to, you know, dress as that character. They're going to want to be that person and stuff. You know, it's just, that's just that person, though. That's just not, that one person can't speak for the whole community and stuff. So all of those people that he showed in this video, they don't speak for me. They speak for themselves. So what they were wearing, they did that on their own time. It wasn't like we all teamed up as a group and just like, okay, we're going to wear this to the Black Panther movie premiere. So, yeah.
I had to address this first is because of the bigger part of the problem with the movie and the acceptance of a lot of African culture. Away from the action and special effects in the movie, there was a big promotion of the culture of the Wakandans. This is one of the main undertones of the movie that must be understood. Remember, Coogler said
it's a fantasy movie, bro.
A film about what it means to be African. A big part of some African culture consists of paganism, the worship of many gods, and witchcraft. This was not ignored in this movie, but highlighted and emphasized. A majority of the first hour of the movie was surrounded by Wakandan culture. It displayed the practices of juju, which is simply a spiritual belief system incorporating objects such as amulets and spells used in religious practice as part of witchcraft in West Africa. This was done specifically when the king becomes Black Panther. There was ancestral worship, like when the king's mother, Ramonda, played by Angela Bassett, called upon the ancestors for their help bringing back her son.
I call upon the ancestors. I call upon past. I'm here with my son to John. Heal him.
She even says she communed with her dead husband often.
Your father and I will talk about this day all the time. He is with us.
This is a known form of witchcraft in which many cultures, not just African, partake in. There's the animal and shape-shifting spirits that is the main part of the movie. Anytime the king transformed into the Black Panther, he would shapeshift into the panther. This again is a form of witchcraft.
But it's not real. Like, okay, once again, this is a fantasy movie. It's not real. It's not like that this stuff actually happens. They sip some grapefruit juice and then they just turn into a Black Panther. Like, no. It's like, I watched that movie, I'm like, okay, I know whatever he's drinking, I know that ain't gonna turn me into the Black Panther. I feel like he's missing the whole fantasy part of this movie. We haven't seen no Black Panthers. We haven't seen no invisible spaceships. We haven't seen any of that stuff. So it's like, I feel like for him to go out and make this video about this movie, it's just like he is trying to blend in a message with a movie that had absolutely nothing to do with that message. Like, granted, they had some things that was like similar, or that had some parts of it, like, you know, of the witchcraft and all that stuff, but people aren't thinking of that. They're not thinking of witchcraft when they're seeing this movie. They're seeing a movie. They're just being entertained by a movie and stuff. So I don't know. It's maybe it's just, hold on, let me turn on the light and have better lighting. But yeah, it's like, dude, we're not thinking of witchcraft when we're watching this movie. We're just watching a movie and stuff. So anyways.
And there was also the necromancy, which is the practice of communicating with the dead, especially in order to predict the future. The Black Panther did this multiple times, was speaking to his dead father about how he would rule as king.
And what again, fantasy ain't real.
The time has come for you to come home and be reunited with me. You were wrong to abandon me. I chose my people. I cannot stay here with you. I cannot rest where he sits on a throne. He is a monster of our own making. I must take the mantle back. I must right these wrongs.
I feel like that if this movie didn't do so good, I feel like that this would have probably been a completely different video. It probably would have been a video about like how this movie just, you know, didn't do so good or something like that. Just a bad review video, I guess. But since this movie's done so good, like having Black Panther Exposed in the title, yeah, people are going to be wondering, okay, what is he going to be talking about in this video and stuff. But
all these practices are specifically expressed against in Scripture, and when they are done by his children, it provokes the Lord to anger. This is specifically stated in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 9 through 11, and 2 Chronicles chapter 33, when speaking about Manasseh. These practices are all a form of witchcraft. When the Black Panther position is challenged, he drinks something that can be compared to blood, that removes the power of the Black Panther.
The grapefruit juice.
When he becomes the Black Panther, he's actually being possessed by the Black Panther spirit, which to them is a gift. If you just do some basic research on Marvel Wiki, it gives background on everything Marvel.
You can't, no. It's like, okay, so you can't use this website particular as an example, because people can edit that stuff and change it up and things just for it to say anything. I remember somebody created a Wikia page about me, and that thing was just saying all types of like off the wall random mess. So it's like, yeah, you can't go based off of a wiki of and fandom at that. So yeah, you can't go based off of that website. All right, that's his first mistake right there. If you did go to this website to like look up stuff and things, you can't. No, I'm sorry.
Black Panther. The potion that the Black Panther drinks to get the Black Panther power, the one Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, ordered to be burned, was called the heart-shaped herb. And according to Marvel, it was a gift from the Panther god, the deity they worshipped. What they don't say in the movie is that the Black Panther, King T'Challa, is actually the leader of the Black Panther cult. The Black Panther cult is the actual religion of the Wakandans. The Wakandans have ties to the ancient gods of Africa that were also worshipped in Egypt. They were claimed to be ancient beings who visited the earth millennia ago, very similar to what we know today as the Anunnaki. This is always the lie that is told, because it always goes back to Baal or Satan worship. This movie is full of witchcraft practices.
way too deep and dark into this video. I'm sorry, but it's just like, bro, listen, I don't know what you came across. I don't know who put this idea in your head, but you can't, every time when they come out with some like black fantasy movie, you can't think that it has something to do with witchcraft. And then movies like, because I guess pretty much what he's really trying to say is that he doesn't like the whole fantasy part of it, which I think that's the one thing that he's trying to deny, and he's trying to have movies face the reality. So chances are, if it wasn't like some, you know, transforming suit and then all of the other crazy stuff that they had in this movie, then he would have been, this would have been a different video. But since it had all of that, and then he thinks, oh, black people are getting hooked onto this stuff. I know that there ain't no suit out there in the world that can transform me into a, or some grapefruit blood juice that can transform me into the Black Panther. I know that, all right. And I would assume that other people know that. And I think that's why they were just buying the whole African clothes, because it's like, okay, well, I can't be the Black Panther and I ain't got trillions of dollars to buy one of them suits, so I'll just buy me a $20 shirt from this African store and so on. But it's like, they're not like thinking along. Chances are there's going to be another black movie. They'll come out and just, you know, do good with that and stuff. But it's just, it's like, man, bro, it's just like, once again, this is a fantasy movie. Why are you getting so deep and dark into this? What is this promoting? What is this doing? Like, using
the black community's desire for a represented culture to push them into acceptance of black magic.
So just because you say some stuff that you looked up doesn't mean that it's going to change the fact that people are going to still like this movie and stuff. Like, people are still going to like this movie. They're still going to watch this movie. This movie made $1 billion in the box office. So if this whole witchcraft theory thing was an actual factual thing, and I guess maybe in his words it is, but if it was a thing that was like everybody caught on to, like let's say if it was something that I caught on to, why are we still going to go see this movie? Why are we talking about buying this movie? Why are we seeing it for the second time in theaters and stuff? Like, it's, come on, man.
Are from our heritage, and witchcraft should be accepted as normal.
Alright, so because they're showing the dude that played Then Get Out, did he have anything to say about that movie? You know, what could he have said? I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna definitely look up some more videos of this guy and stuff. But it's just, my thing is, it's like, that movie, you know, was just a fantasy movie. People like that movie, and bet he had something to say about that. Bet he has something to say about it, or any other. But it's just like, but movies like Boys in the Hood, or Menace to Society, the other movies that he showed, it's just like, has that happened to every black person? It hasn't happened to me. I didn't get, you know, shot in the leg and chest. I didn't have a drive-by performed on me. So it's like, I'm not going to say that, oh, this movie is promoting violence and all of this stuff. And it's just like, I mean, yeah, I guess, all right, so I guess in a way that it is. But I'm not saying that this is like a thing that's just destroying the black community. Like, this is something that was happening long before this movie. So it's just like, to blend it in with that movie and stuff. Like, no, I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking of the movie that I'm watching. I'm just trying to see if I'm going to be entertained by this movie. But trying to find hidden message, if that movie is looking for a hidden message to be found, then okay, then I will find it. But if it's not, and it's just a movie for us to just pay our money to go seeing things, that's when I'm thinking about, okay, is this movie going to entertain me or not? Because if not, then I'm just not going to see it again. But if it is, then this is going to be a movie that I will buy on Blu-ray or DVD and just continue on watching it. So
we are now in a time where people are denouncing the Bible and belief in Christ and are doing the things that are explicitly spoken against. They are promoting darkness as light, and the masses, particularly Christians, are accepting it because so many are desperate to claim a culture. They take on rituals and culture that is actually demonic and satanic, but ignore it because it's put under the general label of African. They replace the God we serve through the mass marketing of a film that they have presented to us as a gift to bring out black strength.
Serve no Black Panther, so I don't know, guys.
Representation.
I'm still a Christian, and I still serve God and everything.
The last undertone that they show in this film is black people fighting other black people. All for their ideology and beliefs, they are fighting each other. Michael B. Jordan wanted to punish the oppressors of the world through war.
And I even said, like, this is just like a fantasy version of just Black America and just black people in general. Like, it's a fantasy, it's not real, so.
Strength, because as we all know, blacks around the world, particularly in the United States, have been oppressed. And Chadwick Boseman's character only wanted to fight if necessary to protect his people. There are people in the middle on both sides, and this created a war. and these people of the same blood and culture wound up fighting and going to war with each other. And while this was going on, a white man, one who would be labeled as an oppressor, they referred to him as colonizer.
Don't scare me like that, colonizer.
My name is Everett.
While they went to war amongst themselves, he fought on the side against taking down the oppressors and saved the day with his bravery, stopping the weapons from leaving Wakanda. This was mass manipulation and conditioning, showing that it was okay for blacks to fight blacks that don't have the same
Something that's been happening way before this movie. So, yeah, we're not okay with it. I'm not okay with it. I don't like seeing my people fighting against the same people. I don't want to see them fight at all. But it's some days it's just like I have no control over. So, I mean, what can I do? Like, I can't do anything behind it, or because of it, I can't do anything about it. So,
the real oppressors and enemies were nowhere to be seen in this movie. But our own people became an enemy depending on what side they chose. This supposedly black movie showed black people going to war with black people while also taking part in black magic and witchcraft. You should understand why it's a movie breaking tons of records. This was not by accident. The real creators of this movie have presented us again with another Trojan horse in our minds. The majority of the black community,
you thought way too much about
this movie, are openly supporting black magic and witchcraft and war with their neighbor because of a different ideology. The worst part is that many of them are self-proclaimed Christians, which will continue to draw people away from the Lord. This is dangerous, and I'm afraid for my people. The only thing we can do
it didn't draw me
Jesus
away
Christ
from the Lord
and what he believes and says about all things. We must expose darkness at every turn and be bold to speak against the things that Satan is massively promoting as good. If we read the Word of God, we know that
he's definitely one of those like Illuminati confirmed people. Like as soon as he sees a triangle anywhere, he's just like, this building, it could be like Starbucks might have a triangle like figure on their logo. He would say Starbucks is the Illuminati, and it's just like, bro, we're not thinking of that. We just want coffee, okay? Or McDonald's, like, we just want us a Big Mac and some fries. What else? Like, even with this movie, we're just seeing a movie. We're not doing witchcraft. I'm not practicing witchcraft. I just wanted to watch a movie. Like, I didn't realize that because of this, like, oh, my faith in God is going to be gone and I'm going to start practicing witchcraft because I seen a movie. Like, whatever is happening, like, anything that's happened, like, in real life that's happened in this movie, that's on them people. But with me, I'm just watching a movie. I'm not doing all of that other stuff. I'm still the same person that I was before. Now, to all of the other ones that they feel like that they had a change of heart and they feel like that they've changed and stuff, you know, that's on them. But like I said earlier in the video, black people, the black people in here, black person that's wearing them African shirts, or myself, we can't speak for everybody. All right, so what they do, that's what they do. I'm not doing what they're doing. So
before the Lord comes, it's just so very hard to watch it in real time. To see our people deceived and under such deep mind control is very troubling. Particularly our kids that lack education on all different practices of witchcraft.
Now they lack education because of this movie.
But love to be
you know what? If you're a kid and you watch my YouTube videos and stuff and you've seen this movie, please comment like when the time comes that you graduated from school and that you're heading into college. And a matter of fact, if you're in college right now and you're doing good, or you're doing good in school and you've seen this movie, please just let me know, please.
They will accept anything if it's promoted to them.
I ain't like no education. I mean, I'm out of school and stuff, but it's just like the education that I have, like I didn't lose my math abilities because of this movie. I didn't lose my reading abilities because of this movie. I didn't lose my writing abilities because of this movie. Like, I'm still the same person that I was before this movie. Now I feel like that because of a video like this that black people are going to see this and it's going to put ideas like, no, do not allow a movie or a video like this to get to you. This is just a person upset at the fact that the message that he's been talking about for a while, now he's trying to tie it in with the movie that has absolutely nothing to do with his message. Like, my thing is, because it's like I feel like that he was honestly doing this for views. Let's see him try to do this video without Black Panther in the title. Let's see he tries to have it, because this video got like 490,000 views. Let's see how many views it would have had if it wasn't talking about, like, I gotta see like this guy's like most view videos and all of that stuff. But anyways,
if you're not able to use discernment Please stay away from all entertainment of today.
Man.
The people that make this entertainment are smarter than you and are not playing fair. You put your soul at risk. The movie The Black Panther is a very well-made movie with very skilled actors and actresses. The stars of this film all boast a very good resume, like Angela Bassett and Forrest Whitaker.
They're
Special
actors,
effects are phenomenal.
like...
Never before have they portrayed black people as kings and queens in power like this, with such a large budget and worldwide distribution. I know it's great to see our people portrayed in power because it's something we are not used to, but there's something bigger at play. They're using our insecurities and desperation for acceptance against us. Don't fall for it.
He even made a video about Bitcoin and the mark of the beast. Wow.
Make the Lord's word the final say and do what he says. Surrender to Jesus Christ and be ready for him at all times.
Bro, he's like one of them He's like one of them Jehovah Witnesses that just refuses to let you close the door on them. Like, bro, what are you talking about? I would love to see the Black Panther cast, like them reacting to this. Cause let's see his most viewed videos and stuff. Yep, the Black Panther. But he did one about TD Jakes, Bitcoin. Like I just, man, I don't know. Dang. I don't know about this guy, man. I seriously don't. But anyways, yeah, watching Black Panther, I didn't even think of Witchcraft until I seen this. Till I seen this video. But yeah, I guess maybe if I just felt like that. The ending of the video is that's what his message was, is that, oh, because we're watching this movie, now we're going to lose our religion and stuff. And it's like, there was black people losing their religion far before this movie, okay? So this movie doesn't speak for all black people. It doesn't speak for African people. It doesn't speak for anybody. It is a movie that is put out in the world to entertain kids, to entertain adults, and to even entertain old people, okay? So when I see this movie and when I hear that stuff like, oh, black people wasn't behind this movie, primarily white people was. How come? Alright, so if white people was behind this movie, because I feel like that he's talking about like the KKK and neo-Nazi, white people like that. When I hear stuff like that, that's what I honestly think about. That it's just like, okay, so he's saying that racist people are behind this movie and stuff. And it's just like, when I hear that type of stuff, and it's just like, okay, how come Black Panther didn't take place in a white part of Texas, and then the Black Panther was white, all of the people in Wakanda was white, how come it wasn't like, no, the fact that it's just like the writer and director, he wrote the script to this movie, he wrote everything about this movie, and then wanted Marvel to be behind it. Because pretty much what I'm trying to say, Black Panther, he's a Marvel character. He wasn't just a made-up character, I don't even think there's like a whole lot, because it's either DC or Marvel. But anyways, it's like, yeah, it's just, he was a character that was made by Marvel some time ago, and he wanted it to be a movie, okay? So, my thing is, it's like, I don't, really understand, like, what he was trying to get at in the making of this video. Like, I don't know what you're really trying to, like, okay, if you're proving, or if you thought that you proved that this video or movie is promoting witchcraft, then it's just like, how come that there hasn't been this blood, juice, whatever it is, how come that stuff hasn't been made and we haven't had a Black Panther spirit in us? You see what I'm saying? Like, this movie is a fantasy. It is not real. So when it's like, when stuff like this comes out about movies, even, I remember when Avatar, when that movie came out, and people was thinking that, oh, if I kill myself, then I could be on the other side. I could be one of these blue giants and stuff running through a forest. But it's like, it's a fantasy. It's not real, okay? My thing is, it's like, if it don't have that based on true events or based on a true story before, even then, with them movies, sometimes even those movies aren't even real. What they're saying in them movies aren't real. So it's just like, anything that you see that's being made in Hollywood, you can't believe that it is real, okay? You can't believe it, all right? if they had like some article or story like Titanic, for an example, they said that movie was based on true events, but the Jack and Rose part, that wasn't. That was just made up. That was fake. But the boat sinking and falling in the water, that was real. But it's not like like the accuracy of the movie, you know, isn't portrayed how it was in real life. Like, it's not accurate, all right? So it's just like with this movie, Black Panther, it's not accurate to black people and Africans and all of that stuff, all right? It's not accurate. It's just a movie. So that's all I'm trying to say. But maybe, you know, maybe his message is better than mine. My message to everybody that watches this movie, don't take it serious. Okay, just watch this movie and be entertained by it, because that's what I did. I think everybody should be like that. Not just black people, no. White people, Asian people, blue people, yellow people, anybody, okay? Like, no, watch this movie to just be entertained by it. Don't get any hidden messages or any of that stuff. I mean, when I seen this movie, I felt like people were saying that there is a hidden message behind this movie. The only thing that I can really think of, that it's just a fantasy life of black people. Once again, a fantasy life, not a real life, because I haven't seen no invisible spaceships. Matter of fact, I thought I seen a UFO the other day. You know what it was? It was a blue airplane. So that's just my head just playing tricks on me. If you see any of that stuff, it's your head playing tricks on you. It's not real. It is a fantasy, alright? So that's all I gotta say. But anyways, yeah. This guy, man, you can't let movies like that get to you and then think that it's, you know, going against God and Christ and all that stuff. It's not. It's just a movie. I'm pretty sure the people behind this movie, they're all Christians. They go to church and all that stuff, and, you know, and so on. So anyways, it's like, yeah, you can't sit here and believe that this movie is like going against God, and it's a movie. Like, where in any part of that movie that they say that they were going against God? You know, I'm just trying to think of this, like, where, like, because it's a movie, like, it's a fantasy. But anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you are new, and peace.